am your teacher, Mr. Pacitti, and this is my living room here in Newcastle upon Tyne, England. So put away your mobile phones, put away your plans to do anything for the foreseeable future. It's time to concentrate, it's time to study. This is SmackDown, and this is Graded. We are kicking things off with the voice of the WWE, Michael Cole. He's here to play a video package introducing Rob Gronkowski, the Gronky Kong, the host of this year's two-day WrestleMania. It covers his various media appearances, it covers his footballing accolades, it covers the time that he helped the one and only Playboy Mojo Rawley to win the armbar at WrestleMania where he spiked Jinder Mahal. Lovely stuff. We go back to the ring and the man himself, Mojo Rawley, is there to introduce Gronk properly. Out comes Rob Gronkowski. He's dancing like a pissing nutter. I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, the show's awkward anyway, but it's made 10 times more awkward when Gronk's out there going all over the place with nobody responding, because there's nobody there except for Mojo Rawley grinning and just, there he is, it's my boy. It was awkward. Gronk talks about how excited he is to be hosting this year's WrestleMania. Mojo Rawley says, hey Gronk, WWE is not like football. This is a dangerous place both here and backstage. Don't shake Randy Orton's hand, Rob. But Mojo Rawley has Gronk's back. And then for some reason, Gronk starts playfully chopping Mojo. Because, yeah. And then they start going after Cole. They're going to start chopping him too, but they are interrupted by King Corbin. King Corbin comes to the ring. He starts running down Rob Gronkowski and says that Gronk should bow down to him. And Gronk says, hey, I'm not going to do that, obviously. Then Elias comes out, sings a little bit of a ditty, making fun of Baron Corbin. Gronk and Mojo find this absolutely hilarious, so Baron gets in Gronk's face and he's like, what are you doing? Why are you laughing at me? That's ridiculous. Meanwhile, Mojo Rawley gets behind him and crouches down, you know, like people used to do to me in the playground all the time. And then Gronk pushes him over. They all laugh. They all have a great time. I'm getting flashbacks. Baron has been made a proper tit of at this point. You love to see it, don't you? And then Elias tosses him over the top rope and Gronk teases a match. He can't make the match, but it's almost definitely going to happen. This is, I can't believe I'm saying this, at WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year, the biggest show on WWE's wrestling calendar, we are going to get Baron Corbin versus Elias. WrestleMania. Whoo! Right, before I award the grade, I'm going to get something out of the way. I'm going to pretend, essentially, that there was an audience there, right? They're there in my mind. So what I'm saying here is I'm not going to penalise segments because they didn't get a big crowd pop, like Gronk's coming out dancing like a bellend, nobody's responding. That's not his fault. You won't be penalised because of that. That said, terrible dancing anyway. But having mentioned that, this would have sort of been awkward anyway. It wasn't a great opening segment. I'm going to give it a C+, because although it was cool that Gronk seems genuinely excited, like the guy's got a lot of charisma and he seems genuinely excited to be hosting this year's WrestleMania. He's obviously a wrestling fan and he's got a hard job ahead of himself because he's going to be hosting it in front of no live audience at all. I just can't get that excited about a segment where the end goal was setting up a match between Elias and Baron Corbin. I hope you can forgive me for that. There were bits of this segment which I think were genuinely fun. You're probably going to disagree with me on this, but the dynamic between Rob Gronkowski and Mojo Rawley, especially when they're winding up people like Michael Cole, I think is really funny. I find it really entertaining. I'm so glad that Mojo has ditched the dodgy face paint and taking himself seriously and speaking very slowly, and is now back to being the hypest hype man in the world, because it's something that he's really good at. And if he continues doing that and just bothering people like Michael Cole, people that the WWE universe don't like, then this could actually work out for him. This is like the biggest thing in Mojo's career, and I hope it does work out for him, because I found him entertaining last night. Sue me. Next up, it's time for tag team action. The team of Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak, now they're buddies, taking on Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. A solid match here, as you would expect from these four guys. Sami Zayn was especially good on commentary, trash-talking Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak. And what do you say about a match involving these four guys? There was lots of really good technical wrestling. It all made sense because they're very good at what they do. 4 of the best wrestlers in the world going at it. It wasn't an amazing match or anything. It wasn't like pay-per-view worthy, but a decent match for weekly TV. There were quick tags by Cesaro and Nakamura, isolating Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan finally makes the tag to Drew Gulak. Gulak comes in, but he's quickly caught in an armbar. More quick tags, and they start isolating Drew Gulak. Fast forward to the end, Daniel Bryan tags in, hits a sunset flip on Cesaro, who is dealing with Drew Gulak. Nakamura tries to come in to break up the pin, but Gulak stops him. 1, 2, 3. Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak winning the match, and Sami Zayn is not a happy boy. An enjoyable match for sure. It was actually really handy to have Sami Zayn, an extra mouth on commentary. Obviously, with the non-existent crowd, it would be very easy to have silence, and then things get more and more awkward. Sami Zayn doing a really fantastic job of just filling the gaps, essentially, and he did so very effectively. Just always a joy to listen to. So good on the mic, so good on commentary, great manager, great wrestler. Bloody love Sami Zayn, basically. A little later, we go backstage and Daniel Bryan challenges Sami Zayn for an IC title match at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn says no unless Daniel Bryan can beat Nakamura on next week's episode of SmackDown. First of all, that's going to be a great match in itself. Really looking forward to that one. But the possibilities here are wonderful, essentially. Right, so we could get Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. That's going to be brilliant. They'll pull it out the bag. They'll make that enjoyable to watch, even with nobody else in the room. But also, this could all be a little bit of a swerve, and they might be setting up a multi-man featuring some of the best wrestlers in the world. It could be a 5-pack challenge, I guess. We could have Sami Zayn, obviously, Bryan, Gulak, Cesaro, Nakamura, all in the same ring together. Yes, please. The match gets a B. It feels like I've been saying this forever, but I really hope this is the return of the IC Championship to a belt that actually means something again. It's so frustrating the way it's been misused over the years. Hopefully that'll happen. Nakamura didn't do much with it at all. That's not his fault, obviously. Hopefully this means it's going to be seen on TV more. Regardless, it's very much, judging by the men who are involved in the title picture right now, it's very much back to being the workhorse belt, and we should see some great matches as a result of that. Next up, it's time to talk to Paige, who is making her grand return via video link. And a video link with a seemingly pretty awkward connection too, because the timing was all off on this segment. So Paige starts talking, she's quickly interrupted by Bayley and Sasha Banks. They come to the ring, they start running down Paige, making fun of her, making fun of the fact that she can't wrestle anymore. Horrible stuff. Paige responds saying, yeah, being no longer able to wrestle, that breaks my heart, but that's the past. I'm not here to talk about the past. Bayley, you're horrible, by the way. You too, Sasha. I'm here to talk about the future. In fact, I'm here to announce a match for WrestleMania 36 involving you, Bayley, and the SmackDown Women's title. Bayley's match at WrestleMania will see Bayley defend her championship against Lacey Evans. Okay, Bayley's not too worried about this. Dana Brooke! Okay, fair enough. What are you going to do? You're going to add Tamina, maybe? Tamina! Tamina's in the bloody match, yes, come on. Bayley's starting to get a little bit worried. She's going, oh, there's only one of me, there's only one title. But she's not done yet. Naomi's in the match too! But that's only 5. This is a 6-pack challenge. The final woman in that match is your BFF. She's in the ring right now. She just called Paige the B word, so you know it's serious. It's Sasha Ruddy Banks. Whoo! Bayley then leaves without her little buddy, and this gets a C+. I'm trying to be forgiving with all of the technical issues that they must be facing at the moment. Because of the pandemic, I'm really trying to be forgiving. But as I say, the timing felt so weird on this. It was awkward. It was staggered. It wasn't very much fun to watch at all. And also, what this achieved, I can't be too excited about either. Bayley deserves better than this. This is the most thrown together feeling title match in recent memory. It's going to be fine. It's going to be a fine match. But, man, it's just, I can't get excited about it. And Tamina... Next up, we get a replay of John Cena versus Bray Wyatt from WrestleMania 30 to kill some time. You know, it's the match where Bray Wyatt's character finally died. Back to SmackDown, and it's time for the dirt sheet with Miz and Morrison. And bloody hell, this was weird. Miz and Morrison talk about how they've already beaten every team on SmackDown. They beat everyone inside the Elimination Chamber, including the Lucha House Party. Fair play, boys. So, who is going to challenge them at WrestleMania? Who's gonna step up to the challenge? Why don't we ask the audience? And I know what you're thinking. Adam, there is no audience. It's all right. Miz and Morrison, they've got it covered. So the audience respond. The camera cuts away. And it's not an audience, obviously. It's the Miz and Morrison dressed as various SmackDown tag teams. So they're the New Day. One of them's got the unicorn horn. And John Morrison is just a big inflatable unicorn. And then the Usos. And they're doing all of the Usos mannerisms. And they're dressed up like Jimmy and Jay. And then Heavy Machinery. Except it's not Heavy Machinery. It's Bacon. They're dressed as Bacon. Bacon is good for me. They're dressed as Bacon, and okay, yeah, so we cut back to the ring, and they're laughing about this, it's all fun and games, and then out come the real Heavy Machinery, not Bacon Heavy Machinery. The Otis and Tucker are here. Right, this was just odd. Obviously the idea is that the heels, the bad guys, are poking fun at all of the other teams on SmackDown. And you know what, as well, different strokes for different folks, because I know a lot of people like this, they found it really funny. For me, I didn't find it funny. The comedy didn't work for me. I just thought it was weird. Fair play to WWE for trying something different, given the circumstances once again. And it was inventive, if nothing else. But yeah, the comedy, it didn't work for me. I thought it made Miz and Morrison look childish and just a bit crap. This doesn't feel like we're building a feud which is leading to WrestleMania, essentially. It was just, come on, we're a couple of weeks away now. And we've got Morrison dressed as an inflatable unicorn and both of them dressed as Bacon. It doesn't scream WrestleMania feud to me. So I'm going to give the dirt sheet a D+. Sorry, guys. Anyway, we've got a match now. Heavy Machinery versus Miz and Morrison. This one starts off pretty fast. Heavy Machinery hitting big power moves on the Miz for 4 or 5 minutes. Tucker with a great dive, a flippy dive to the outside off the apron. And I'm going to take this opportunity while I've got your attention to apologise for my remarks about one Tucker, because I called him the weak link, and then he did all that stuff at Elimination Chamber, and he's bloody good, isn't he? I take it back. I was wrong about you, Tucker. But if you're responsible for Otis's eventual heartbreak, then I'll take that back too, and then you are a bastard again. The match continues, but to cut a long story short, after about 6 or 7 minutes, out comes Dolph Ziggler. He takes a seat at commentary, starts making fun of Otis, and then as Otis is about to nail the caterpillar, like he's mid-caterpillar, Dolph gets up and goes, whoa, 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 I've got some pictures to show you. And he starts showing pictures on the Tron of Dolph and Mandy just having a lovely time. Not self-isolating, but having a lovely time together. And Otis just loses it. He goes after Dolph, doesn't quite manage to get him, and then Miz and Morrison try to attack, and yeah, Otis goes bozo, completely bozo, gets a chair, starts clobbering them all, ends in a DQ, so Heavy Machinery have lost, but really good stuff from Otis. It's another layer to Otis's character. He's been the sympathetic babyface for a while now, and now you know he really means business, he really cares. This was great stuff. Probably the best thing on SmackDown last night, and you know what? Otis is very often the best thing on SmackDown, so fair play once again. This gets a B+. A decent match for sure, but once again, the character development shown by Otis here is the real talking point. This was the best thing about this match. And you know what? Previously I would have said, oh, come on, Otis and Dolph at WrestleMania? But if we're going to get Elias versus Corbin, then balls to it. Daniel Bryan, balls to it. Give us Otis versus Dolph. It'll be good. There's time to fill. Final segment, and it's time for a contract signing. We love a contract signing, don't we? It's between Roman Reigns and Big Billy Bill Berg for the Universal title at WrestleMania. Roman out first, Berg out second. They immediately grab their chairs and lob them out of the ring because screw furniture! Yeah. Goldberg says he was always hoping it would be Roman Reigns that answered his challenge. Healing it up a little bit, by the way, Goldberg here. It was interesting to see. Roman Reigns then starts listing off all the people that he's beaten at WrestleMania, just showing off a little bit. And then Michael Cole interrupts and shows a tweet, which Sam is going to display for you right now on your screens. Well done, Sam. You've booked another match. You've gone and done it again. Just be your little keyboard warrior, aren't you, Driver? And I know you're editing this. I know you're going to see it. Just calm yourself down, cretin. Anyway, Roman signs, Goldberg says, you're going to be the next victim, you're next. And then Goldberg signs as well. And then they tip the table over because screw furniture. Sorry, neighbours. Oh, I'm going to get evicted, aren't I? Yeah, and that's it. And the last shot is Goldberg and Roman squaring off. But because there's no audience, all you can hear is the live director going, camera 1, going to camera 3. Camera 3, camera 2. Camera 2, coming to camera 1, in 3, 2, camera 1. And any drama was very much taken away by that noise. They should have just muted it. Whatever. That's SmackDown for you. This was a crap segment. Gets a C-. I don't even know really why this is happening. I mean, I do, because Goldberg's a draw and all that, and he spiked the ratings and all that, but like, what is this? A battle of who's got the better spear? I'm not sure what this is meant to be. I'm not sure. What qualifies Roman for this match? Why does he deserve the match? He's done nothing. He's got a title shot. That's absolute BS. And you know what? I think everyone feels the same. I just can't get excited for this match at WrestleMania at all, even though it's probably going to main event. In fact, I would put money on nobody even showing up to this year's WrestleMania. Overall, a horribly average SmackDown. I'm going to give this a C+, a generous C+, by the way, because circumstances, essentially. The best things about this week's SmackDown, I mean, the tag match with Bryan, Gulak, Cesaro, and Nakamura was alright. Gronk and Mojo messing with Michael Cole was a highlight. The highlight was Otis. Without a doubt. I've already said that. But yeah, just a weak SmackDown. I'm willing to be forgiving, even though we're in the build to WrestleMania. Once again, circumstances. That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry about the lack of Sam Driver. I do apologise. There's only so many cameras to go around, and I've stolen one of them. There wasn't enough for Sam, essentially. So send all of your love to Sam. You've got me on SmackDown Graded for the foreseeable future. I hope you're dealing with the pandemic as well as one possibly can. This is a horrible time for all of us. So I'm sending all of my love to all of you. And yeah, isolation, quarantine is tough because, well, I can only tell inside jokes now.